How y'all doing? It's your boy Gregory Parchment again. It's January 12th, 12:35 in the morning Central Time. And I'm going to do another video about football, generally speaking. I want to just basically address two topics. I want to address my wild card picks. I want to get it on record. And I want to talk about the retirement of, I guess, 3 legendary coaches. So I guess I'll do the coaches first. You know what? No, I won't. I'm going to do the wild card picks first because I think it's just kind of pretty cut and dry. Just basically break down because I might ramble a little bit about the coaches a little bit. So the first game of the wild card NFL weekend is the Browns versus Texans. I like the way the Browns are playing right now. I like the way Joe Flacco has been playing quarterback. I think the Browns have a better all-around team. I think they have a better defense. And if they're going to get production from Flacco, I think they're going to be fine. I think they run the ball a little bit better than the Texans. And, C.J. Stroud has definitely shown he's very good. 4,108 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks was his statistics. But, he just showed a lot of poise this year. But you know what, man? The Browns were just too much for them. I'm going to go with the Browns. The Dolphins, Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Although I'm a little nervous about that one. If out of all my picks, I think that's the one I probably struggle with the most because, first of all, Dolphins are a very inconsistent team against winning teams. Also, it's going to be very cold outside. So I think that favors the Chiefs, but the Dolphins can run the ball. And I just don't trust the Chiefs passing game at all. If you're going to tell me they're going to run it all the way down the Dolphins' throat, I guess that's possible, but they haven't done that all year. They like to throw the ball, and their receivers stink. So I'm going to go with I will go with the Dolphins, man. I'm sorry. At some point, you got to throw the ball, and I just think that is a bad look for the Chiefs because they're just a terrible throwing team. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins with the upset there. The Bills versus the Steelers. That's all supposed to be a bad weather game, but I think the Bills are gonna win that one. For all the crap that Allen takes, and I understand why. He's got a lot of interceptions this year. They won 5 in a row. They are the 2 seed. So ultimately, we value winning. Josh Allen takes his team to where they're supposed to take them. I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, to be honest. They are my Super Bowl. They're my AFC champion this year. I think they're going to win the whole AFC. So I'm going to ride with the Bills over the Steelers. Cowboys, Packers. Packers have had a very nice year, but I think they're a year away from starting to advance in the playoffs. They did some nice things, but they got to shore up a couple things. Cowboys are a better team this year. I don't think they're going to go all the way, but this weekend they advance for sure. Rams versus Lions. You know what, man? Honestly, I don't like how the Rams gave up on Goff. I would really, really like. I'm not going to be mad at all if the Lions win this game and Goff gets his revenge. But I really like the Rams team. And honestly, I'm kind of in awe on how they rebuilt that roster so quickly because they lost a lot of draft capital and doing a lot of the trades they did. They traded a lot of good players away. They lost a lot of players in free agency, and they rebuilt that team very, very quickly. So kudos to the Rams. Kyron Williams is playing well. Puka Nacua is playing great as a rookie. So that offense is pretty much already rebuilt. I'm pretty sure they're going to just rebuild the defense next year. The Rams look good. I'm going with the Rams. Lions are good at home. I'm going with McVay and the boys with the upset. The last game, Bucks versus the Eagles. Bucks at home. Eagles are a mess, man. Hurts got a bad finger. A.J. Brown got hurt last week. They're saying he's going to be all right, but, the chemistry on that team is just bad right now. The Giants blew them out last week, and Giants aren't that good this year. I think they're going to lose. I think Tampa's playing okay. But, like I said, the Eagles are just going to this game just not really focused and just not together. I think the Bucks find a way to win at home, and Eagles, lick their wounds and regroup in the offseason, man. The Eagles look bad right now, so I got to go with Baker Mayfield and the boys. So those will be my wild card picks. Now I want to talk about the retirement of Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, and Bill Belichick. Okay. So, there's nothing really much to say about Bill Belichick. Everybody kind of knows he's one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the best in some people's minds. I think he obviously established himself with the Giants as a defensive coordinator. This thing with the Patriots as a defensive coordinator. This thing with the Jets as a defensive coordinator. Everywhere pretty much Parcells went his first few tenures. Belichick was a defensive assistant helping him out, and then when he got his job with the Patriots, he obviously led them to greatness. My whole thing about Belichick is that when people just want to automatically say he's the best of all time, look, like I said, if some people feel that way, I'm not going to say they're wrong. This stuff is very subjective. Objectively, he's won 6 Super Bowls. So if you're just basically going off his accomplishments, winning at the highest level, then yes, he's the best coach of all time. However, if you want to just kind of go into the ins and outs and the whys of why people win, he was the coach of the Browns, and they fired him after 3 years. Tom Brady, before Tom Brady got there, he was about to be fired, and then he got Brady, or Bledsoe got hurt, and then Brady took over, and they went on one of the most historic runs in NFL history. Then after Brady left for Tampa, the Patriots struggled again. So, he gets credit because he drafted Brady in the 6th round. But, his record without Brady isn't that good. So, do I say he's the best of all time? I kind of struggle with that a little bit. But no doubt he was one of the best for sure. Hall of Fame coach for sure. 6 Super Bowls is nothing to sneeze at. So I got really nothing crazy to say about him. Like I said, I just don't think he was a coach. When you talk about certain coaches who go to different places and win pretty much everywhere they go, I don't think he was one of those type of coaches. I think he set himself well at New England. He took advantage of the fact that Brady was ready to go when his number was called, and he just wrote it out for 20 years, like I said. Good for him, good for them. And I wish him a great retirement, man. We'll see him in his Hall of Fame speech in 5 years if he's still alive, man. Nick Saban. Again, another dominant college coach. What can you say, man? What is he have 6 championships? I think he had 1 with LSU and 5 with Bama. amazing job. I mean, as a Miami fan, that's what I thought Butch Davis could have done. That's what I thought Jimmy Johnson could have done if he would have stayed. You know, but Saban actually did it. Can't really knock that college resume. College resume speaks for itself. He was the best coach I've ever seen, for sure. Great recruiter, great development of players. You know, he's definitely going to have some Hall of Famers. Julio Jones was definitely going to be a Hall of Famer for sure. Trying to think of all the great Alabama players that played there, but I mean, Julio Jones is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, so that's definitely going to happen. The other players are I'm kind of not thinking of right now, but there's going to be a lot of Alabama players that are kind of teetering on the Hall of Fame for sure. So yeah, I mean, I guess the only knock on him I would say is that when he tried to go pro, again, he couldn't get it done. You know, he couldn't get it done. He went to the Dolphins. They say he tried to get Drew Brees. He didn't get Drew Brees. He got Dante Culpepper, and then he basically bowed out and quit on the Dolphins, basically. So, no knock on him, really. Like, I mean, it's not like he had a bad record, but, you know, he basically kind of gave up on coaching the NFL. So, I mean, that would be my thoughts on Nick Saban. One of the best, if not the best coach in college football history. Again, sir, thank you very much. You've done a great job. Pete Carroll. You know, Pete Carroll is interesting because unlike the last two coaches, he's actually had success on both the college level and in the pro level. Because he went to USC, won a championship. He went to Seattle and won a championship. And honestly, probably should have won two, if not for one of the worst play calls in Super Bowl history. But whatever, he still got one. So, and he always had a consistent Seattle team. USC was good until basically Harbaugh basically ran him out of that job. So, I don't think he had the sustained success that Belichick did in the pros or Saban did in college. But unlike both of them, he's the only one that can say that. He won a college championship and won a pro championship. I don't know how many people can say that. I know Jimmy Johnson did that. So that is extremely impressive in my opinion. Like I said, all these guys are great coaches. And, you know, I think it's kind of an end of an era, man. Like, you know, football is changing. And with these guys retiring, it seems just like, you know, the game is just going a different direction. But they'll definitely be always remembered. And it's not going to be the same in Seattle. It's not going to be the same in Alabama. It's not going to be the same in New England without those guys. But the sport moves on like it always has and does. And I just, you know, thank those guys for all that they put in the game, giving me great memories over the years, and just thank you guys for all that you've done. That's pretty much it. If I had to rank them, all three, I mean, because the NFL is probably the hardest level of football, I guess you got to rank Belichick 1. You got to rank Carroll 2, and you got to rank Saban 3, just because Carroll and Belichick had success in the NFL and Saban didn't. So, I guess that would be my thoughts on that. Other than that, yeah, everything is good. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the coaches and the wild card picks. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.